Let's welcome in our next guest, boxing instructor at the JCC in Margate, Jon Simon. Good morning, John.
Hey, what's going on, Dave?
You like that intro music?
Oh, I love it. Gets jammed up, hyped up, all that stuff.
You're getting all hyped now, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely a lot of stuff going on this week.
Hey, put the controversy to rest. I say Rocky IV was a great movie. Nick Costco says it's trash.
I didn't say it was trash. I said I like it, but it's not actually a good movie. I just I enjoy it.
He basically said it was trash.
Oh my God.
I'm going Rocky 2. Rocky 2's my favorite. Rocky won the title that one. Extra fight scene. I'm going with Rocky 2.
John, my brother Paul, he went to see Rocky I in theaters back in the 70s. He said people were giving a standing ovation as the credits were rolling.
I would say my first one, again, I'm going back to Rocky 2. Me and my brother went and we saw it. It was our first movie we saw by ourselves in the theater, and I think we did wind sprints right afterwards. So I'm going to go with Rocky 2.
11 at night on the beach, you're doing wind sprints?
Rocky 2, that's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Yo, before we get into Box for Tots, let's talk a little boxing here. Who's your favorite boxer of all time?
Favorite boxer of all time? I'm partial to Virgil Hill because I worked with him for 13 years. But if I had to go, Mike Tyson maybe, and then Marvin Hagler's probably my all-time favorite.
Oh, marvelous Marvin. He was one of my favorites too. I used to like Julio Cesar Chavez, and then later on the Gotti Ward trilogy was just awesome.
Gotti Ward, that was great. That was great. Obviously, locally, that was phenomenal because of just what Gotti stood for Jersey City and what he brought to the area. And he was just a blood and guts fighter, not really the most technical boxer around, but he definitely was a crowd favorite.
Oh man, Irish Mickey Ward. That was some kind of trilogy, man. There was if you look at like the best rounds of that on YouTube, it's just 15 minutes of awesomeness.
Round 9. You want to talk about the best Rocky movie ever? Round 9, Mickey Ward and Ettore Gotti, or basically that whole fight could have been Rocky 7 or what,
Yeah.
Because that was like real life stuff. So that was great.
Now, did you do any fighting back in your days?
Me? No. Fortunately for me, I get to do the easy part. I just did the training, the conditioning. I did do a little bit of sparring, and then I realized, you know what? I'm better off just teaching people how to do it.
Oh, man. So tell us about Virgil Hill. That must be cool working for him, former world champ, right?
Virgil Hill, 5-time world champ, now a Hall of Famer, yes. It's so weird because he doesn't even like when I talk about like working with him, because when you work with him, you actually become like part of the family, and that's what you feel like. So it's like when I talk about him, I talk about him more like with pride because of what he has accomplished and because of the person he is. And the boxing almost became secondary because that's how nice of a person he is, so like for me, I asked him for an autograph actually for my stepson, and, he was like, I don't even really want to give you autographs, but, he'll do it, but, it just feels weird. So, from the boxing standpoint, he wasn't the most entertaining fighter because he was, more movement, more of a jabber, sticker, and outpointed you. But, from a personal perspective and from just a real life perspective, he's one of the best guys you'll ever meet.
Hey, John, did you ever hear of a heavyweight named Vinny Matalone?
Who's that?
Vinny Matalone. Out of Queens.
Possibly. No, Queens. No,
he actually fought Holyfield when Holyfield was making his comeback.
Really? Okay.
So he was on my college baseball team.
Nice.
He got his start. He got his start boxing after his college baseball career was over in tough man contests. Actually took a liking to it and turned pro.
Wow.
I think he ended up having like 35, 40 fights.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
I got to look that up. People can do it. Like I said, I don't generally, encourage getting punched for a living, but if you want to do it, man, go for it.
So, John, tell us the origin of Box for Tots. This has turned into probably something you never even expected. We're talking in the 7,000-8,000 range in terms of the dollar donations and toy donations. It's really become one of the biggest events in South Jersey.
Yeah, it started out 15 years ago. It'll be the 15th year we've done it. It started out literally where I waived the fee for my boxing class, and I said drop a toy in the Toys for Tots bin at the time. And, the response has been so great each year that it's gotten to the point where we actually just passed the $9,000 donation mark. Last night, I got checks keeps coming in. So I got to run back out to the stores probably right after I coach a basketball game. And it's a busy time right now. So, but it's really great how, and like what you said, where it's just increased each year. Like right now, we've already surpassed the toys for any other year. So, and that's the goal every year. So, and that's only possible because everybody in South Jersey supports us.
Hey, John, if there are some business owners or some personal people out there that want to make a donation to this toy drive, how can they get in touch with you?
Basically you can go through the Margate JCC, or you can contact me. My phone number is 609-992-6211. We actually had to register Box for Tots is now a registered nonprofit, so the checks can go straight Box for Tots. So, that's actually helped out a lot. You could probably drop a check off at Boca Bar and Grill. Louis Freeman's actually been nice enough after Tuesday's class, Tuesday night on the 18th. He's giving out a free buffet for anybody that participates in Box for Tots. So, I'm sure you could drop a check there because it'll find its way to me.
Awesome.
It's a community effort, Basically, I think it's gotten to the point where, anywhere basically in South Jersey, within an immediate circle, within the gym world or anywhere like that, I think everybody jumps in. And I think, the checks and the donations and the toys find their way to me. So it's a great thing.
We're talking with Jon Simon, boxing director over there at JCC in Margate. And, John, this has kind of turned into a whole big operation. There's a lot of logistics now going forward. You have not only the people that help out with the classes, but in terms of taking all these toys and distributing them out to the people who need them. I guess it's taken a lot of refinement over the years to get it to where you wanted it to be, right?
And it's funny because I don't even know where we want it to be, but it's just like you said, it's developed into each year some different aspect, just naturally it progresses to the point where now we have like 15, 16 different organizations that come pick up the toys. Egg Harbor City Schools, their kids have actually set up boxes throughout Egg Harbor Township collecting for Box for Tots now, which, that was brought on by a teacher at Egg Harbor. He reached out to me and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we've got toys coming in from like all different places now. So, and then, not to mention like the local DJs and the clubs. There's a couple nightclubs that, consistently they're waiving their admissions in lieu of getting a toy. So like I said, the community is just really, really, really behind us.
Now, John, how do you go about deciding who gets the toys? Obviously there's a lot of kids in need out there, but you want to guard against people that are just trying to kind of beat the system, and you hate to think about that, but there are people out there who say, "Oh, let me get some free toys because I don't want to go spend $100 on my kids." So how do you deal with that aspect of it? Like, hey, we really want to get these toys to kids that really don't have a chance to have a Christmas.
Well, to tell you the truth, Dave, I've seen over 15 years of doing this. I've probably seen 2 or 3 incidents where I've had to say, "Listen, this isn't for you," or I've just hung up the phone. Because you could just tell it wasn't a legitimate organization. But we're actually, that's one of the reasons I think we continue to grow is because it's like people like you're going to reach out to me and it's going to be people that or people that, that are less fortunate, and the organizations, they're all trusted organizations. They're all,
Gotcha.
It's JFS, it's Atlantic City Fire Departments, it's Star of the Sea. It's you don't see me selling waters on the boardwalk,
Right.
trying to raise money year round. For 6 weeks out of the year, we collect a lot of toys and just give them out to a lot of kids.
So, John, tell us real quick about some of the other folks that help you out. I'm sure you have a huge team there, but some of your right-hand men and women who are a real big part of this.
Oh my God, the list goes on. You can't do the class without Johnny D. He's a legend. He's you can't get any better than him. You got Danny Toff. He's my little elf. Just because he's about 3 foot tall, but he goes to Big Lots with me. He's holding mitts now. He's been doing it for I think it's his 4th year doing Box for Tots. One of the best parts about this class is, there's people that I only see this time of the year because they put it on their calendars. They're calling out of work just to hold Mitch, just to be a part of it. DJ Luop called out of work. He canceled a booked gig for himself just so he could be a part of it. DJ Swoosh is in there this year. DJ Vito G. They the whole community. They just everybody. I'll forget a bunch of people, but like this thing does not get as big as it does without the help of the whole community.
Talk with Jon Simon from the JCC in Margate about Box for Tots. It's BOXX for Tots. And is there a Facebook page or anything, John?
I mean, just my Facebook page. It's funny, like every year, I guess this year you're the second. Michelle Dawn Mooney was just telling me you gotta start a website for this.
Right.
So I guess, next year we'll probably have a website for this. I mean, it's I'm learning as I go, but the toy pile keeps growing, so I must be doing. We're doing it right.
Now, John, do you ever get a chance to meet some of these kids who you've helped out over the years, and what's that experience like?
Well, to tell you the truth, Dave, I stay away from that aspect of it. I feel like if the parents, you want them to have the joy of giving the gift, watching their kids open it up. Now that I have kids of my own now, like that part of it's changed over the years. And I couldn't even imagine the feeling they would have if they didn't have a toy. But I wouldn't want somebody in my living room on Christmas morning shaking hands going, I'm responsible for this.
No, but I mean, have there been people that reached out to you afterwards, maybe written a nice letter or something like that? And
that we get that all day long. I mean, that and again, I think that's one of the reasons it continues to grow. Like, somebody will tell somebody else, and they'll be like, oh, go see Jon Simon, go see Johnny D, go see Dan Shaw at the fire department, because it just keeps branching out and gets bigger and bigger. But
that's got to be such a great feeling, though, to know that the hard work you guys do, and I'm sure it's more than just a week or two in December that it takes to put this all together, and to see the fruits of that labor on a kid's smile, there's got to be an awesome feeling for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Again, like I said, I've given probably, I don't know, over the years, 50,000, no, not that many, about 20,000, 30,000 toys away. And, I can't even imagine how many, how happy that makes people, but I'm glad it does.
Hey, it's the time of the year, man. We need more people like you, buddy.
Thanks. So which class you coming to, Dave?
Rattle off the times and dates here, and I'll certainly pick one out.
You got Tuesday night, this coming Tuesday the 18th, or Thursday the 20th at 6:30 p.m. That's when the DJs go on at the Margate JCC, or Friday morning at 10:30. That's probably going to be the one where you're coming to, I think.
Yeah, I got to work around the high school basketball schedule, so.
Yeah, same thing. I got my coaching debut at 12 o'clock, Margate Travel League.
How nervous are you?
A little nervous, man. I'm from Schenectady. I'm walking in the shoes of Pat Riley, so I don't know if I'm going to wear the Armani suit or not.
You got to go jacket and tie, shred the jacket in the first quarter, loosen up the tie in the second. By the end of the third quarter, you should look completely disheveled.
Yeah, go totally Jerry Tarkanian on him. Start shooting on the towel. No doubt. Awesome, John. We appreciate the time, man. Before you go, remind everybody how they can get in touch with you if they want to support Box for Tots. Box for Tots, you can get a hold of me at the Margate JCC. Drop a toy anytime from now until next Saturday, or you can reach out personally. Phone number 609-992-6211. Great job as always, John. We appreciate it. We're going to make this kind of a yearly interview to just keep pumping up the interest in this. So thanks for the time this morning. I know you got to get a lot of work done this weekend, so we appreciate it, bud. All right. I appreciate you. Thanks a lot, Dave. You got it, man.